Thyroid gland is located just anterior to the trachea, is made of two lobes with a connecting isthmus between, like this way. Back to the thyroid, we have the parathyroid gland. There are four small glands, one upper, one lower, and on the other side the same thing. And then we go lower down, you have the heart, is going to be this way, is located, this is the apex of the heart pointing to the left hip, base of the heart pointing to the right shoulder, that way. What are these things? These are the coronary arteries and veins. Why for? The supply of the heart muscle itself. The heart is an organ and needs nutrition, so these are responsible. This is the right coronary, this is the left coronary, and these are the veins following coronary veins. What's that piece? Right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle, left atrium. What is that? Pulmonary artery, or you can name it pulmonary trunk before it divides. Next to it right away, this is aorta. I'd like you to be very specific. This is the ascending aorta, and then we'll turn to make the arch of the aorta, and then we'll go down to be the descending aorta. Okay, so if I ask you, this first piece is the ascending aorta before the arch. Okay, then we open the heart like this way. If we have this piece, you may be tested on, what's that wall? Interventricular septum, between the two ventricles. This is one atrium and this is another atrium. If you locate it this way, so here is the right, now it became left, and this is the left, became right now. Okay? From the inside, right atrium, right ventricle. Can I have a pen or a pencil to point with? There you go. Right atrium, right ventricle. In between we have this valve. This is the tricuspid valve. Attached to the tricuspid valve, these cord-like structures, chordae tendineae. Why for? For firm closure of this valve. When they close, they should be firmly closing that thing. And each of these chordae tendineae are attached to one of the papillary muscles. This is one of them. Papillary muscle, this one. Lower down, only in the right ventricle, we should have a band here called moderator band. Only on the right ventricle. Okay, this is the interventricular septum, right ventricle, left ventricle. As you see, the thickness of the wall of the left ventricle is way bigger than the right ventricle. Why? Because this one had to contract vigorously to push more blood in the aorta to supply all parts all over the body. And then blood will leave the right ventricle through this pulmonary trunk, and no way to be back again because of this semi-lunar valve or pulmonary valve. We have another valve here at the very early beginning of this aorta called aortic valve. It's again one of those semi-lunar valves. If you have these chordae tendineae, these should be guarding the other valve called bicuspid valve. One more name, mitral valve, between an atrium and the ventricle. So we have an AV valve here, an AV valve there, tricuspid and the mitral valve. What else for the heart? This is the diaphragm, the muscle between the thorax and the abdomen. What about this? This is the descending abdominal aorta. If I remove this piece, we have here the arch of the aorta, and this is the descending thoracic aorta. That will be the abdominal aorta, descending. It has an opening inside the diaphragm. This is the opening, aortic opening. What's this nearby? Inferior vena cava, carrying venous blood from the lower half of the body going back to the heart. Where is the superior vena cava? This one is going to end into the heart, like this. What else? This is the end of the aorta, and this is the beginning of the inferior vena cava. You know the direction of blood is the opposite in the venous side and out or far from the heart on the venous side, on the arterial side. The aorta is going to end by dividing into two common iliac arteries. Common iliac arteries. Right common iliac, left common iliac. And then each iliac is going to divide into two. One going to the pelvis called internal iliac, one going to the lower extremity called external iliac. No more for you guys about this knowledge, okay? What else? I need the branches coming out from the arch of the aorta. Do we have it here? No. It should be from the other mannequin. One of the endocrine organs here, this is, by the way, the spleen. And next to it we have the kidney. You should give me, this is the left kidney. Above it is the left suprarenal or left adrenal. On the right side, yeah, thank you. On the right side we have the right kidney and the right suprarenal. Can you see the base of each is different? This one is crescentic shape, but this one is a semi-lunar like that. You are not asking about the details. If you go to the detailed anatomy of the heart, I'd like to ask you guys, is that the anterior view of the heart, or this is the anterior view of the heart? How can I make a landmark so that you, when you're asked, no, this is the anterior view, this is the posterior view. Look at this vein running transversely. This is called coronary sinus. We'll see what for this one. So here is the back of the heart, and here's the anterior wall on the anterior surface of the heart. The heart is mainly made on the front view like that by the right ventricle. Above it, the right atrium. 1/3 by the left ventricle, and then above it, the left atrium. This is the pulmonary trunk. This is the ascending aorta, the arch of the aorta, and then the start of the descending aorta. Branches coming out from the aorta. It gives three main big arteries. The first one from the right side, the brachiocephalic artery. This will divide soon into two, right common carotid and right subclavian. And then, more to the left common carotid coming directly from the arch of the aorta, and then followed by the left subclavian, same way, directly from the arch of the aorta. Where is the superior and inferior vena cava? This is the superior vena cava, carrying venous blood from the upper half of the body. Where is the inferior vena cava? This opening. This is the inferior vena cava opening. It's carrying venous blood from the lower half of the body. Okay? If I look at this, these are the coronary vessels for the supply of the heart and carrying the waste by the veins. This is the left coronary. This is the right coronary. Where they arise from? They arise from the aorta very early, just after the valve, aortic valve, and then soon divide into right coronary and the left coronary. You're not asking about the details of the branches. We have the coronary veins running on the same way with the arteries. They carry the waste from the heart, where they end into the coronary sinus, where this is going to drain into the right atrium, not into any of the vena cava veins. Okay? So this is the venous drainage of the heart. Now we open the heart. This is the right atrium, how it looks like inside. And then, how can I open this? Come on. Will you do it? Thank you, destructive lady. Okay, when we open the heart from the interior, would like to see, this is the interventricular septum. This is the right ventricle, this is the left ventricle. Again, these are the chordae tendineae. This is the tricuspid valve or AV valve. If you go on the left side, this is the, again, another AV valve or bicuspid valve. Bi means two cusps, tri means three cusps. Each of these chordae tendineae is going to be attached to one of the papillary muscles, like this, like this. Where are they ending? Into the wall of the myocardium, the wall of the heart muscle itself. This is the moderator band, only unique in the right ventricle. We don't have any other place. What are the two other valves? This is the pulmonary valve or semilunar valve, and this is the aortic valve at the very early beginning of the aorta, or another semilunar valve. This is all what you need to know about the heart. Okay? Thank you. That's it. I wish